In the world of professional sports, few leagues possess the rich history and devoted fan base that the National Hockey League has. Nonetheless, the NHL's once vibrant prominence has gradually faded in recent years. Poor management decisions within the league have resulted in a decline in interest, leaving a noticeable impact on the NHL's overall popularity. On January 31st of 2023, a report by Austin Karp of the Sports Business Journal said that the NHL US TV national viewership averaged 373,000 viewers per game, compared to 478,000 in 21-22 at the same point in the season, which is a 22% decline. From frustrating local blackouts to head-scratching scheduling decisions and more, NHL fans didn't hold back in their criticism. One fan saying, "As someone who wants to watch games, the NHL does a good job of making it a total headache for fans. Limited local streaming options, other than paying for expensive cable, ESPN Plus only games, but most local games are blacked out. A total mess that they made themselves." Another point that fans made to increase viewership was to stagger game times. If there are several Eastern Time games on at the same time, viewership will obviously be lower than if the times are staggered. The NHL's transition from NBC to ESPN and TNT had a significant impact on viewership, leading to a drastic decrease. Under NBC's broadcasting, Stanley Cup final games typically garnered an average of 3 to 6 million viewers. However, in the recent Stanley Cup featuring the Golden Knights and the Panthers, the average viewership dropped to just 2.6 million, with the cup-clinching game recording a mere 2.7 million viewers. This marked one of the lowest viewerships for a cup-clinching game in NHL history. Ultimately, the NHL witnessed a substantial 22% decrease in the US TV viewership during the 2022-2023 season. Fans voiced their frustration with the league's marketing approach, citing issues like troublesome blackouts and a lack of convenient local streaming options. These factors, alongside overlapping game times, contributed to a less than ideal viewing experience and a significant decline in viewership and popularity amongst the sport. As the NHL strives to stay on top of the world of sports, it faces tough competition from other leagues like the MLB, NFL, and the NBA. And with the greatest soccer player coming over to America, the MLS is soon going to overtake the NHL. These leagues are growing rapidly, attracting a lot of fans and stealing the spotlight from the NHL. One significant factor contributing to the NHL's lack of popularity is the absence of prominent player personalities. The NBA's success can be attributed to its effective promotion of players, not just based on their on-court performances, but also their overall personas. Figures like LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant have amassed millions of followers on platforms like Instagram, gathering global recognition. Fans from various countries engage with these players, buying their jerseys, watching their advertisements, and passionately supporting their teams. In contrast, the NHL lacks a comparable number of player personalities that capture widespread attention. While the NBA has personalities like this,
Jeremy, he deserves this. Look at Dave right here.
The NHL has personalities like this.
Planet Earth, I'm not gonna lie to you. I came here on a mission to prove that you have more personality that you let on. I know you've said in the past, I like to be a little boring, but I don't think you're that boring.
The NHL's poor marketing strategy has been a significant factor in its decline of popularity. One of the most notable shortcomings is the league's failure to effectively market its best players. Like we just mentioned, the NHL has struggled to give its star players the recognition that they deserve. They often go unnoticed on national television, and the league has missed opportunities to feature them in advertisements and commercials. This lack of promotion diminishes the chances for these players to become household names and limits their potential to attract a broader fan base. It has happened way too many times where the best player in the world, Connor McDavid, is not being shown on national television and is instead forced to be shown in a local market. The NHL's marketing efforts also fall short when it comes to promoting important games and events. One example is the league's outdoor games, which should be celebrated as a unique, exciting experience. However, the marketing surrounding these games is often lackluster, resulting in a significant portion of fans being unaware of when and where they are taking place. As a result, these games fail to generate the buzz and anticipation that they should, leading to missed opportunities for increased viewership and engagement. The overall impression created by the NHL's marketing approach is one of missed opportunities and poor efforts. It seems as though the marketing department is not fully invested in maximizing the league's potential for success. The lack of effective marketing campaigns and the strategic vision to promote the league's key assets contribute to a sense of stagnation and underexposure. In a highly competitive sports landscape where attention and engagement are crucial, the NHL's poor marketing is a significant hindrance to its growth. It not only limits the league's ability to attract new fans, but it also undermines its current fan base's enthusiasm and connection to the sport. The NHL faces a unique challenge in appealing to its older fan base and the younger generation with different preferences. Traditional NHL fans who tend to be on the older side often hold more conservative views on the game. They prefer a restrained and stoic approach, discouraging players from expressing their personalities on and off the ice. Embracing change and allowing players to freely showcase their personality is often met with disapproval, as these fans value upholding traditional values. The NHL's loyal but aging fan base tends to show resistance when it comes to humorous or unconventional moments during games, creating a hurdle for the league's pursuit of innovation. An example of this was evident in the NHL's recent efforts to revamp the All-Star Games by introducing new events, which unfortunately failed to meet expectations. Devoted fans of the NHL hold a deep appreciation for the sport's rich history. They value the serious and focused atmosphere that it offers. However, the league's hesitance to embrace change and adopt fresh approaches prevents them from captivating a younger and more diverse fan base. Balancing tradition and change poses a unique challenge for the NHL as they strive to remain relevant in the dynamic landscape of major sports. If you ever played hockey as a kid, you know just how expensive it can be. The rising costs associated with playing hockey have had a significant impact on the declining popularity of the sport. When compared to other sports, hockey is by far the most expensive to participate in. The price of equipment alone can be staggering, with helmets, pads, and skates. And for families, the financial burden continues with steep fees required to join the elite travel programs. It's not just the initial investment that's expensive. Even keeping up with necessary equipment upgrades can be a financial struggle. For instance, top-end sticks can cost around $400, and a pair of high-quality skates can easily reach $1,000. These skyrocketing expenses create barriers for many individuals and families, making it increasingly difficult for them to afford playing hockey or developing any interest in the sport at all. The NHL's struggle to gain international recognition has been a significant factor in its declining popularity. Unlike other major sports leagues that have global presence, the NHL has primarily focused on North America, resulting in a limited reach worldwide. This graph of registered hockey players shows a very steep decline after the United States and Canada. And it's a bit unfortunate because sports like soccer and basketball have enthusiastic fans around the globe, but hockey fails to cultivate the same level of international fandom. The lack of extensive broadcasting and media coverage outside North America further hampers the NHL's exposure and acknowledgement in international markets. Two of the major streaming services for the NHL, ESPN Plus and Sportsnet, are limited to the US and Canada, respectively. Another drawback is the absence of international stars and influential figures in the NHL, making it challenging to attract a diverse and passionate international fan base. And it doesn't help that international competitions featuring NHL players occur infrequently, depriving the league of valuable opportunities to showcase its talents on a global stage. In 2016, the NHL made huge strides by having the World Cup of Hockey, but since then it's been talked about with no action being taken on the next one. Sadly, many steps have to be taken to stop the NHL from falling into irrelevancy. And the scariest part is that the inevitable decline of the NHL can only be saved by itself.